I invited you today. I'm working quite a couple of years in the meantime for Portugal Ventures, which is one of the leading VCs, venture capital companies in Portugal. Can be compared to the German High-Tech Gründerfonds. It's in the majority state capital institution owned. Nice portfolio of high-tech startups, varying from IT, biotech, e-health, new material, robotics, sensor, etc. And I am very, very content. Try to connect these portfolio companies to German corporates and beyond. So I invited today a couple of corporates, not only from Germany, but also from other countries. I may introduce you now to Hector Benfeito, who is one of the directors of Portugal Ventures. He himself is located in the headquarters of Portugal Ventures in Porto, north of Portugal, and he will give you a short introduction to Portugal Ventures, what they're doing, how they're performing, about the portfolio, etc., etc. Welcome, Hector, to this session.
Thank you, Ulf, and thank you all for coming to this session. As Ulf kindly mentioned, we are a VC based in Portugal, but with a clear international outlook. We invest mostly in early stage ventures, some of them actually very early into the process, but we are quite active strategically to give them the right support and the right network for them to grow. All of them have state-of-the-art technologies that we're trying to help to grow and to show in the marketplace how innovative and how value added they can be. And in these challenging times, today we're going to present a couple of companies, Follow Inspirations and Logical Safety, that have in common solutions that could be extremely valuable in these moments of diminishing the lockdown period, and making sure that the institutions, and particularly the corporates, are able to safely bring their employees back to work in an effective, safety and orderly manner. These two companies have these proven technologies. They already have cases they can also highlight that show that this is a technology that can be scalable and they can be used across industries. And I believe that after this session, you will be able to know at least two new approaches to making sure that on an industrial setting, not only you can be more efficient, but you also can be more safe in your operations. So that will be my quick introduction, because they are the stars of the session. I'd like to hand over the floor to Luis and to Enrique to quickly introduce their two solutions. Probably, Luis, you should start on, please. Thank you.
So, thank you very much. I will share my screen. Check. Good. Are you seeing the presentation?
Yes. And one remark to the audience: if you have any remark or questions, the best way, in my eyes, we have the F&A button. This is the Q&A button. I do not know why F&A in the bottom line. This can be only seen by me, but I prefer that you posing your questions in the chat area so everybody can see your question. Unless
I can also ask access to the Q&A, so we
okay.
can work on this together, Wolf.
Okay, good. So
Okay.
like whatever you want.
Okay, thank you, Wolf. Thank you, Vitor, for the presentation and the brief words. Good afternoon, everyone, in this session. My name is Luis. I'm the founder of Follow Inspiration, a robotics startup created to build technology that allow every robot moves autonomously and in a natural way. Along this presentation, I will show you how we do this and how our technology works. Well, like I said, we are a company that developed more than robots. We develop technology, a technology that uses the ultimate techniques and combines computer vision, sensor fusion, and hardware that allow us to navigate in a natural way and perform, for example, people tracking. With this, we could apply and develop every robot that we want in every scenario that needed. In a more specific view, our technology have two main capabilities. The first one is about people recognition, and with this I could have a follower robot, for example. The second part, it's about natural navigation. And with this, I could have a robot that could move autonomously from a point A to a point B, C, or D. And with, in both scenarios, our technology is based on computer vision. So in the following mode, for example, I don't need to put additional sensors in the person or special clothes to perform the recognition and perform the following mode. And it's the same for the natural navigation. I don't need to put additional infrastructure on the space, in the room or in the factory to perform indoor localization. We do everything based on computer vision. So I will show you some examples that we already developed and applied. But first, it's important to tell you that our development and our products, and this is a patented technology already granted in the United States and Europe, for example. Well, some examples. So in here you are seeing an autonomous shopping cart, mainly designed to help people with reduced mobility in the that help people with reduced mobility in the groceries transportation. With this development, we achieve a following mode system that have the capability to adapt to the supermarket conditions, and the robot have the capacity to follow a user, detecting and avoiding all the obstacles along the way. This is really very easy to use because the person just needs to put the bag in the middle, just need to be in front of the device, press the start button, and in less than 3 seconds, the robot detects the person and starts following him around. Another example that we apply the following mode, it's this autonomous coffee robot that follow a promoter and gives coffee in a different way. So instead we went to a coffee station and pick up a coffee. The coffee are coming to us in an autonomous and different way. We build this product for a Portuguese coffee company, and the company use these robots. They have several of them and use in public spaces, in events, retail stores, and so on, to promote their brand and show that it's possible to give coffee in a different way. So with these examples and with these both robots, we achieve a user tracking system that allow us to do a following mode in different fields. Another example, so we pilot two inside factories in order to create and test algorithms to perform natural navigation and indoor localization. We use the common hardware in order to navigate autonomously without additional infrastructure, like I said. We move to, of course, these examples that you are seeing for the robot could transport everything we want, and I will show you later more examples of these scenarios. And it's a robot that has the capacity to navigate autonomously without additional infrastructure. Another example, it's about social robots, and we apply this robot to real services stores with a different robot, of course, to test this navigation that give us a huge knowledge, because in this pilot and in a public store, as you may know, in a factory we have a structured environment, and with the same luminosity inside, but inside a store we have different scenarios, we have different lights. We map, for example, we make a digital mapping without people inside, but the robot moves with people inside. And this is a huge challenge for us, but we solve the challenge, and nowadays we have a technology capable to adapt to these environment changes and navigate autonomously. Well, according with the last test, we implementing robots with real partners. For example, this one we are applying in Wurth in Germany, and this robot have the both capabilities of our technology: the following mode in one hand and natural navigation in the other hand. And this is very important in the picking process inside a factory, like this example that you are seeing. The robot have the capability in an easy way to pick up a bench or a shelf and follow the worker during the picking process. This gives to the worker much more freedom, and of course the worker don't need to push anything because the robots are always following. When the worker finish the picking process, the robot could go in an autonomous way to the other location with the cargo, and the worker could start a new picking process, don't losing time in the transportation. Another test, and this video is just for R&D purposes for us. We are testing and we create a vacuum cleaner for outdoor, but our goal is mainly to adapt and test our algorithms in the outdoor environment, and in order to integrate in our system outdoor sensors and test mechanical parts. So it's an experience for now, but it's important for us to be ready for the outdoor environment, because like the other examples, we just use, in this case we use GPS, of course, but we use GPS combined with computer vision. Well, but of course this is real examples and real scenarios, but we are moving and we are growing with our skills and robots, and nowadays and right now we have a product line based on the same technology that can transport from 0 to 1.5 ton, whether transporting a pallet or a bench or towing things. We can adapt our robot base to different scenarios and according to the company's needs. We could transport automatically pallets, like I said, integrate lifters, communicate with external infrastructures, and so on. So we have the capability with this product line to integrate the robot and perform all the automation needed to put any manual process in an automatic one. Of course, our products, and besides the robots, we developed a platform where we can see in real time the behavior of each robot, send orders to them and receive alerts according their status, for example. It's a platform where our clients can manage their entire automation, even create new routes, for example, if want, and if any robot stops because they have an hardware problem or something related, we will know in real time because a pop-up will appear in the platform, and we will receive pop-up and alert in our smartphones or tablets. So it's a web-based platform where we can control and manage every device and every automation that we integrate inside the factory. Another thing that we are developing in these days, it's a robot with the capacity to perform disinfection of the space. Of course, very related with this virus problematic, of course, COVID. And for this example, we have some differentiation. We use UVC lights with certification to disinfect surface and additional, we integrate a machine that purifies the air with UV techniques too. So the result, it's a robot that can work in the night with the UV lamps, and during the day with the air purifier that could work with people in the space. It's forbidden for the UV technology to work with people in the same space, in the same room. So to solve this problem, we integrate air purifier in order to the robot work and perform this disinfection during the day and along with people between them. So it's something that we are finishing the prototyping and to send to the production factories the manuals in order to prototype the concept. Well, with this technology, we have the possibility to create any robot we want. Like I said, we are working in the retail field, doing robots to help, for example, in the picking process, helping companies to have a better e-commerce process. We work in logistics and manufacturing companies, optimizing the transportation times and costs, reducing the human resources needs, for example, for the transportation tasks, one more time, and increase the versatility of the picking process. The transportation process, the companies need this versatility in order to pick up more orders from their clients, and it's important to make this step in the automation and to put their factories in a more versatile way. The healthcare and the airports vertical, it's for the future for us. We are looking for partners in order to achieve real use cases and apply our technology. Of course, I don't work alone. We have a team inside that allow us to design the robots, design the automation, perform the constructions and the build of the robot. And of course, main of our team, it's about computer science engineers, computer vision engineers, in order to make the software and the intelligence that we put inside the robot. So, and this is it. It's our technology, and with our technology, it's possible to create, like I said, every robot. So tell us your problems, and we will give you cost-effective and tailor-made solutions. So challenges, and we are here. I'm here to answer to your questions if you have. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Luis. By the way, your camera does not work.
Yeah, sorry.
There was one question, Hector. Did you see it?
Yes, there's a question here for Luis. So the question is, can the UV light source change so that the risk of blind ankles I'm trying to understand the question. I'm just going to read it exactly how it's written. So that so can the UV light source change so that the risk of blind ankles of the purification be minimized?
I don't know if I understand the question, but the UV light, it's a very dangerous technology. It's that why we use cameras in the robot to detect any person inside the room. If the robot detects a person, the robot will stop automatically and shut down the UV light, because it's complex. And this is the reason that we implement air purifier in order to work during the day, because it's a certified products to do this disinfection and could work with people in the same room.
Okay, I guess if you have any further questions, take up contact with Luis. Anyhow, the presentation, of course, are shared with you all in the audience and beyond. So then agree on the individual calls and chats, whatever you want to. Or challenge Luis, like he said, challenge him. Luis, your camera went off again.
Sorry.
This is a live experience. Challenge him, challenge the team around Luis. If you have an automatization challenge for him or a topic, then ask him whether he can solve it in the team. I'm personally very happy that I successfully introduced Follow Inspiration to Wirth in Künzelsau. They have their central store logistics there. It's huge. It's really huge, and they had a problem, and Luis' team tried to solve it. Actually, as you see in the reference application. So just challenge him if you have any stuff to talk. So, Enrique, you are not Filomena Pastor, but I take it like it is. And,
I had some problems with my link, so apologies for that. My name is...
So we start with you. This stage is yours.
I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Just a second, please. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Enrique Mateos and I'm the CEO of Logical Safety. We are a company that develops IoT-powered safety solutions and risk management solutions, including, in this case, Lototo and risk management software. We work also with the lone worker live monitoring solutions for preemptive safety and ranging and position detection for collision prevention. And in that range, we have a device that was developed with a partner that is a life tracker. We call it a life and fall tracker. That is a device that is a premium device in question of construction, developed with European technology. And it's a device that was developed to work in a broad range of applications, not only on the industry, but also on facilities, on commerce, and also on the medical area. In this case, we are speaking about a device that is fully configurable. And when I'm saying fully configurable, that means it's the only device on the market where all the buttons can be configured according to the functions that the client wants to see on the device. Even the LED interface can also be changed according to the specific needs of the client. And this device has quite a broad range of functions. In these functions, in this case, the first one is a solution that is called the life tracker. The life tracker, why? Because the device works as a lone worker solution where it's possible to detect falls in real time. It's possible to, sorry, I'm gonna move back a little bit. It's possible to detect motion or no motion. It's possible to detect speed and control speed according parameters that are all predefined in a back office. It's possible to work with location, both with GPS and also with Bluetooth, allowing to have a quite accurate outdoor geolocation system and also an indoor geolocation system. If in case the GPS is not available, it's possible to use the Bluetooth to track and trace people. It can be in the most different situations, can be on a lone worker, or can be even because we want to manage or monitor people in dangerous environments. So the device allows to define geographic fences around working areas and establish virtual safe boundaries. An example for staff members in field. And it's a combined system with real-time tracking, geofencing, that allows to remotely control and restrict access, for example, to potential hazardous areas through proximity alerts. The platform that supports the tracker has a fully alarming system that allows to send emails, that allows to send messages, and even doing automated phone calls depending of the specific requirements of the client. That can be a warning, or can even be an instruction about something, can be even related with work procedures, etc. So the system is used, one of the examples, as a preventive alert and emergency response system that opens a permanently open communication channel. The device has the ability to, as a two-way communication. So basically works as a normal cell phone that can trigger calls or allows calls to a long list of numbers that can be predefined in the back office. And an example, in case when proximity with unauthorized access areas, the emergency alerts can be immediately triggered. This can be done in several different ways. One is an example using the Bluetooth by measuring distance between, an example, an asset or a facility to the person using the device, or using the GPS by creating the geofencing areas in the back office, and then we will get the information about if someone is entering or if someone is leaving those areas that are marked and created on the back office. In case of injury, aside the possibility of manually prompting an SOS, the fall down and no movement sensors immediately can alert operational management and trigger emergency responses. And this can also be linked, an example, to a call center. In case of big companies or corporations, some of them already have these systems in place, and the device is fully integratable with already existing systems from client side. So in this case, we are seeing a small video that shows the capability related with the distancing. As I was explaining, the device is a fall detection device. Can work as an ID and clock attendance device, allowing to control or to replace the work time attendance. It's also a two-way communication system, as I explained before. So basically it works as a normal cell phone. In this moment, we are seeing the video that shows the social distancing, mostly related with the current situation of COVID. And in this specific situation, all the contacts will be monitored. The proximity will make the device to vibrate and to emit a buzzer, a sound, and all the proximity events will be recorded in the cloud, allowing to track and trace eventually situations of infections that, if they are not able to be monitored, they may cause, in some situations, in some companies, the shutdown of facilities because of the contamination. As I explained before, it shows, as it shows in the video, it's a no motion device as well, SOS button, geofencing areas, and it can work also as a vehicle GPS once the device has the ability to measure speed and to control driving situations by restricting the users, or let's say the drivers, informing them they are in a breach of safety related with speed. So this is an image of the platform. The platform is fully configurable. Easy access, allows to create and generate the geofencing areas, as we can see here. And the system also allows to configure a set of different situations that can be the device to ignore data, to start recording data at specific times, to record data only after specific events occurred. Like an example, imagine that we have a driver and we want the device to start recording only after the driver picks the car. Then the device will start recording. That is possible to be managed in the platform. The device will start only recording after a specific speed. We can even, an example, to make this device to work as a normal GPS in a car, and when the driver takes the device with him, it works as a individual protection system. Going down, the information that is provided on the cloud, in this case specifically related with a distancing solution, is a full list of interaction between particular IDs. These IDs, they can be set up on the device or on the cloud, allowing us to work with or without names or particular IDs on the device. This is related with the GDPR protection, that we can work in both ways, protecting or not the identity of the users. The employees who breach the distance, as I was explaining, this can be with a simple code explaining who is who, to avoid eventually to have the names on the device. BT communication with proximity devices only, and buzzer and sound alarm notification in case the proximity was breached. As we can see here, the system is a cloud service system with a software that will detect the proximity, will record it, and it's possible also to send out reports, automated reports in the end of the day, or automated information going out immediately when, an example, a specific breach situation occurs in case of proximity. The device, it's fully configurable. It's a very slim device. It's more or less the size of a credit card. It's totally configurable, as I explained also before, 5 buttons that can be pre-configured for several different functions: to freeze the device, to bring it back to normal operation. We can change the color of the LEDs, make it work as a normal phone, man down, alarms, no movement scenarios. All that can be pre-configured in the buttons and the call options. And the device is also prepared to connect with a long list of industrial sensors. And some of those sensors are, for example, temperature and humidity sensors, motion detection sensors, Bluetooth beacons, or even magnet sensors that allows, these sensors allow us to build a quite extensive range of industrial solutions that can be applied in any kind of facility, allowing, an example, the user of the device to have immediate warnings in case of a sensor that is emitting something above the limits. Can be, an example, a gas sensor that is above the limits, and instead of the information going to the cloud, that means there's a direct contact between the risk and the device then warning people about the risks they are being exposed. So there's other sensors that can be applied, not only these ones. Basically, the device can be connected with any kind of sensor using Bluetooth, and can even be used as a kind of gateway, sending the information straight not only to the user, but also to the cloud, and eventually to a platform that can be our platform or any existing platform, informing management of the company that something, some risks are, there's risks in the facilities. Additionally, the device is being prepared to connect with what will be the first patient remote monitoring kit in the world. The device is being prepared to connect with a blood pressure monitor that will work with a Bluetooth, with an oximeter that will connect also with the device, with an ECG, heart rate and breathing, body temperature and stress levels monitor device, with a glucometer to measure the glucose. All these linked to a platform that will be a medical platform that will allow to basically start monitoring patients, or a normal civilian person can even buy the kit, and the kit by itself will link to the cloud and provide information in real time about the medical conditions of patients. These devices, these peripheral devices, they are not manufactured by us, they belong to partners. All these devices are certified, and the kit itself is intended to be certified, and we expect to release it in Q3 of 2020. Our solutions were the finalists of the DECRA Awards last year, that we are very proud. And if there's any other challenges that you have in your company that are related with lockout solutions, Lototo solutions, remote monitoring of equipment, people, assets, that is our expertise. So this solution is just one of the solutions we have at the moment. We also developed customized solutions according to the client needs. So if there's any challenges that you are facing at the moment, please come to us and let us know. I'm sure we will find a solution for your problems. Thank you very much. If there's any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Enrique. Nice presentation. And if the German DECRA is awarding you, it have to be something special. And so I'm happy that I pinpointed this award to you, and you finally make it in being one of the finalists in this award of DECRA, and which is full of suspicious engineers, like scrutinizing everything thoroughly. So if you make it, you must have something. So and both of you providing solutions in surveillance and automatization, whatever. So there are two questions. I leave to Hector now to articulate them to the audience. And I repeat, we are reverting to all of you with the presentation, and feel free to take up contact with Enrique and Luis afterwards in order to discuss individual applications. Hector.
Thank you, Rick, for the presentation, and thank you for the questions. We have two questions. One coming from an anonymous attendee, wondering and asking what are the baseline technologies for measuring distances, if it's based on the GPS devices, and how good does it work inside buildings, so indoors?
Okay, so that is one of the biggest advantage of this device, is the fact the distance measuring is not based on any other technology related with GPS. So what we use is Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth system has the ability to measure the distance between the devices, and if there's another device with a different ID, it will be detected, and that is what we are using to measure the distance. So we don't need to connect with any other technology like GPS or communication to be able to detect proximity, and it works perfectly indoor. It's very accurate in the range of, I would say, 10 to 15 centimeters. And basically the device by itself, without any other communication system, detects proximity. And if there's no possibility to send the information in real time to the cloud, the device will record the proximity in the flash and in the processor, and it will send it as soon as come to an area where communication is available. So with or without communication, the device will prevent social distancing, and the record, with or without additional communications, it will send the data to the cloud when the communication is available.
Thank you, Enrique. Now we have another question from my good friend from the West Coast, John Castor. Hi, John. I hope you're good. The question is, what is the battery life for the device, and how long does it last between charges, and if it is replaceable?
Okay. So yes, the battery is replaceable. So if the device for some reason, depending on the condition it's working, the battery is affected, it's important to say the battery is certified. So it's replaceable. It's just a question to remove one battery, to put a new one, and the device is ready to go. And in question of the lasting of the battery, it depends of how many functions the device has active. So if we put all these functions working and with two-way communication calls, making it work like a normal phone, an example for instructions at work, obviously the battery lasts much less than if just working with social distancing and as a lone worker solution. So I would say with everything working, between 12 to 16 hours. This includes communication, voice communication like a phone. If it's just working with a minor functions, the device has a standby system. That means when it's not working, it goes on sleep mode, and then it can last for 6-7 days easily.
Okay,
Thank
this
you,
was a
Enrique.
question. There was one question concerning concerning contact to Enrique.
Yeah, we will share in the end of the session. We'll share the
That's
contacts both of
That's
Enrique and Luis, so that you can
Don't
follow on.
worry, we will prosecute you afterwards to the audience. So this is because this webinar can only one slight portion of what we are doing to match you and the presenters. So it's just to acquaint with each other and then take up further steps. So I guess there are no further questions. Please, we are going to ensure that everybody is meeting everybody up afterwards to go after, and please, dear audience, challenge Luis and challenge Enrique with your problems you have in your company, or what I'm likely to say last time. If you know about corporates in the industry who could benefit of both technologies, maybe a combination of both even, we can apply the sensor on the robot or follow inspiration, for instance, something like that. But if in the need of an automatization, robotics substitution by personal contacts, actually for obvious reason or whatever, please take up contact with both, with Hector or of course with me. I'm more than happy to introduce you to the entrepreneurs. If you get any close relationship to the industry or retailers, like we saw in the presentation of Luis, independent supermarket chain owners who want to entertain their clients in order to create some USP, unique shopping situation, because actually, people are very hesitative to grab the cards because of the virus on the surface. And this can be substituted by this robot technology following people when doing shopping, for instance. So there's a big variety in application for both solutions, and think about whom you know in industry and whom you get introduced to both. And I guess this in the sense of Portugal Ventures, if you, by the way, have any idea, both companies are of course open for additional investments. So ideally by a strategic party, but also by a VC, because it's both Portuguese technologies, but made for global applications. So this is the logic behind that. And this should be, of course, if you're interested in investment, discussed with Hector. So, Hector, what do you see? Something?
Well, I want to thank again Ulf for setting this up, Luis and Enrique for presenting, and all attendees. We'll be sharing, like we said, the contacts of Luis and Enrique and myself, and Ulf, I think you all know. And we will also share a recording of this video if you want to share it with other team members or people that you think are reasonable to access this information. And we will definitely keep in touch if you feel we can help in any way. I talk now on behalf of myself, Portugal Ventures, and these portfolio companies and the rest of our portfolio. Feel free to reach out, and I'm more than happy to follow up. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all, and stay lucky, safe, healthy, and optimistic these times. Okay. Thank you very much again. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.